Join History Victorum as we visit one of the most important Greek sites in ancient Greece, the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, and explore the history of the oracle. The oracle declared Socrates the wisest of men and Alexander the Great invincible. In the Republic, Plato placed the oracle at the center of his ideal city. Before we reach the Temple of Apollo, I would like to show you two items of significance to the history of the temple. The first here is the Omphalos, displayed just as you reach the treasury of Athens. Delphi was considered a sacred site in ancient Greece due to the myth of the god Zeus. Zeus wanted to find the center of the earth, so he released two golden eagles from the ends of the world, and they met at Delphi, and Zeus placed the original Omphalos here. The one here is a copy, as well as the one in the Archaeological Sites Museum. The Omphalos also traditionally had significance in the story of Apollo's arrival to Delphi. In ancient Greek mythology, there was an oracle or Sibyl of the goddess Gaia, the mother of the gods. The oracle was guarded by the serpent Pythia. Apollo came to Delphi to found his oracle, but in order to do so, he had to defeat Pythia, which he did. Traditionally, the Omphalos with two gilded eagles on top was the funerary monument of Pythia and located in the Temple of Apollo. On our approach to the Temple of Apollo, we have here the Rock of the Sibyl, which is where the earlier oracle of the goddess Gaia was said to have prophesied and most notably had foretold the Trojan War. Here we have arrived at the base of the altar of the god Apollo, which is where sacrifices were made to the god at the very top of the altar. The altar was dedicated to the god by the Achaeans, and it is believed to have been dedicated in the 5th century BC. Here you can see an inscription, which refers to the fact that the Achaeans were allowed to see the oracle after the people of Delphi. The altar was built on the site of a previous altar, which is why it is not perfectly centered to the temple. You'll notice that the black Achaean marble was used to build the altar, except for the white marble that was used for the base and the top of the altar. The ruins of the temple that we see today were built in the 4th century BC and are those of the third known temple from historical times, meaning not those based solely on myth, which we will focus on in this video. It is believed that the first temple is from the 7th century BC, and more precisely around 650 BC. In 548 BC, it was destroyed by fire. The second temple was completed in 510 BC and was built with donations from all over the Greek world and beyond. In 373 BC, the second temple was destroyed by an earthquake. This third temple was completed and inaugurated in 330 BC, following another plea to the Greek world for donations. If you have the opportunity to see the Archaeological Sites Museum, there is a room primarily dedicated to the Temple of Apollo. We'll focus here in this video on the pieces that are from the second Temple of Apollo, and here is the east pediment, which would have been above the entrance into the temple, and it depicts the epiphany or arrival of Apollo to Delphi from Athens. At the center is Apollo's 4-horse chariot, with Apollo, his mother Leto, and sister Artemis in the chariot. To the right of the chariot is Delphos, Poseidon's son and lord of the land, as well as two other male figures welcoming Apollo to Delphi. To the left of the chariot, you see the 3 daughters of Cecropes, who were princesses of Athens. At the 2 corners are lions hunting prey, with the left lion attacking a bull, while the right lion is attacking a hind. In ancient times, in order to reach the oracle, also known as the Pythia, you had to walk into the temple, and down the center you would pass through 2 rooms which held carvings, an altar to Poseidon, and statues of various gods. You would then reach the steps to go down into the section of the temple where the Pythia was located. Here you would find a sacred spring, and the Pythia would be sitting on a tripod over the prophetic chasm with a gold statue of Apollo and the previously mentioned Omphalos. The scent from the prophetic chasm was said to be sweet, which matches the findings that the site is on a fault line, and the gases that would have come through the chasm would have also been sweet. The temple eventually fell into ruin due to earthquakes and fanatical Christians who purposely destroyed parts of this structure. During Roman times, Emperor Nero looted the treasuries of the sanctuary, and many items from the temple were taken to decorate his new palace, the Golden House, in Rome. Emperor Constantine also had taken items from Delphi to decorate his new city of Constantinople. This is Veronica from History Victorum. Thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to our channel.